Do you see it? Is it recording?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Hi guys, my name is Emily. I'm here, in Hawaii. We have a really amazing team that has built over time, and I want to introduce to you our first guest trainer tonight. Her name is Leila Madela. She's out there on the island of Maui. Really tremendous leader. She is a gold associate, running alongside, myself as well. We truly care about people, and that's why we're doing this, guys. This is a system that you're going to be able to follow. So tonight we're going to do 7 days of training. Tonight's training, we're going to cover how to onboard a new member and to how to get your 100 name list. There is a sequence here. There's going to be different trainings on 7 days, but tonight we're going to be talking about how to onboard a new member and 100 name lists to launch your business. So I'm going to change the slide and take it over to you, Leila.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. And there's no right or wrong way to do it, you guys, but it is a proper way to go and onboard somebody who's just getting started. I know we started with this getting started checklist. And I think as we progress within the company, we see things that we shouldn't do, we didn't do, and there's a lot of things that we didn't do, and that's how we came with this checklist. So get through the checklist. If you don't have a copy, get with the person that invited you, get with Emily, myself, we can get you a copy. But this checklist will help you get started, and we're gonna break it down as we go through the slides. But you're gonna write down your goal, number one, right? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And I hear this over and over and over again, you guys. I just went through this with my son about setting goals. Is write down your goal. What do you want to accomplish? But the biggest thing that's going to drive you is your why. Why did you get started in this business? Is it just the stack? If you're going to go out and share and want to earn additional income, why do you want to earn additional income? I know we talk about the number one thing, oh, for my family, do all of that, but get a little bit deeper. And this is the times where you can spend during the day, like really thinking and by yourself, contemplating on the things that run through your mind, why you get involved. I got involved in the industry years ago. Number one, yeah, I say residual income for my family, all of that. But you guys, it's just so much more. And my why has grown even more here in 7K. It's because I know that this company will allow me to leave a legacy for generations that are not even here yet. And that's deep, you guys. So you can even get further deep with that, but get through the checklist, write down your goal, and know your why. I think we're breaking it down. Yeah, Em?
Yes, so just go through the bullet points.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, we're winging this, you guys. So, getting started is super important, you guys. And, getting through the checklist we're going to go through right here is welcome call with the leader. Somebody gets started, you guys, super important. Recognition, number one, is super important. So recognize that they got started, they took the step, right? Get them on the phone with somebody. It doesn't need to be your direct person that enrolled you. It doesn't need to be someone that is above you, but you can go ahead and introduce him to somebody on the team. Support is huge here, and we see that where we're helping each other all across the board, right? Writing down your 100 name list, super important. Who are you going to contact? That is the lifeblood of your business, is this 100 name list, right? Setting up a launch Zoom, setting up a launch in person now that things have opened up, you guys, is getting together with a few friends, sharing the information. And the key here is, if you're going to build a business, is getting your first two members grabbing a membership. Okay, how do you get started? What are our training days? Adding your members to the Telegram group, the Facebook group. If they haven't gotten Telegram, how to download the app. Right, we're gonna go through all of this, and we're breaking it all down through the 7 days. Download the Wealth app, the 7K Advantage, the Google Authenticator, setting up your Sound Money wallet, stack and sell, get familiar with the schedule. What's going to work for you, right? Is getting contacts, your contact information for your leaders. They don't know who they're going to connect with or who they're connected to, right? There's myself, there's Emily, Norman. I mean, get Madiba, there's Yuri. Is get their information, give them the phone number, you guys, because you never know when they're going to be able to partner their prospect with somebody other than their own circle here within our leadership group, right? Is plan your roadmap to copper. That's the soup. If you brand new on here, you're gonna hear get to copper. How do we get to copper, right? The first thing is get two people to grab a membership so you get to associate, and then we'll share that too. We'll go into detail on that. Go through your back office training. This is not to replace any training that's in the back office. I highly recommend that everyone goes through the training, including the buyers and the collectors training. Okay. Join a the personal development book club. We have one here that Emily started. You're welcome to join that. Even if you can't be on the live every single week, is be alongside the group that's reading a certain particular book, you guys. And how much do how much do you need to earn a month, right? This is important. Know your number. Is how much do you need to earn a month for this to be worthwhile for you to stay in the game? You got to write it down, right? On your wall, on your book, in your planner, and then know your why. We're going to get back to that. So next slide, Em. Okay. So write down your 100 name list. This is where, I don't have it in front of me. Emily might be able to show you hers, right? Because we're recording here. Is I have it all in a and this is where you got to get organized, because I have it in my phone. I have it on newspaper. I'm getting organized to put it all in one planner. And whatever will work for you, you guys, this is where you write down on paper, right? I find on paper versus digital than my phone. The names I have on my phone, I've transferred to the paper, is being able to write down on paper so you can visually see it. You're writing their name down so you don't forget. I recommend keeping a little tablet next to your nightstand at night, because sometimes you will wake up in the middle of the night and someone will come into your mind. Write it down, because you're going to forget in the morning. Never ever prejudge, you guys. Honestly, out of all the companies that I've been involved with, this company is so versatile. It is for the masses, and we cannot prejudge. This is for everybody. The information is valuable for everyone, whether they grab a hold of it now, you guys, or not. Just know that it's timing, right? There's memory joggers out there. Who's your neighbor? Who's their friends? There's no reason why you cannot write down 100 name lists. I know we went through a challenge a couple months ago or a month ago, where we invited people to a Zoom. You guys, I only went through my directory on my phone, my contacts, and I got through letters A, B, and C. I didn't even get the rest, and I was able to come up with 7 days of 7 people each day. That's 49 names, just A, B, and C. So we all have that. You guys go through your phone list. Keep adding to your list. Never stop adding, because that is the lifeblood of this type of business. You guys, is keeping your name list up to date all the time. Okay, and keep track of your list. And this is gonna be key, you guys. On the bottom here in bold letters, fortune is in the follow-up. As 7K is growing, you guys, people are going to start to hear about 7K that you might have told last year. I have a friend that just joined last week. She was one of the first people I told a year and a half ago. And when she finally made the decision to give me some time, because timing wasn't ready, and she actually admitted that she was avoiding me, trying to avoid me, right? She gave me time, and she came into and saw the information last week on a live presentation, and was not what the information I shared was nothing that she expected. And right after that, she said, "I'd like to grab a membership. I want to get be a part of the coin drop the following day." You guys, you never know. It's all timing, but fortune is in the follow up. The other thing I'm going to add in here, and I added it in my leadership text today, is that some will, some won't. So what? Go next, right? But never ever leave them off your list. Circle back, because somebody will end up being invited by someone else. Now, here's the suggestion, and this comes from experience, is anytime someone comes that you might have told a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, whatever, is let the prospect decide who they want to partner with. Yeah, the number one product here, you guys, is not our gold and silver. The number one product is ourselves. It's you. People will buy people. And hey, we'd be happy for them. Yes, we'd love it if they end up on our team, but don't let them miss out on an opportunity. That's just the side note, because I've been through the industry where this has happened before in other companies, and for me now, I'm just happy that people get started. I want to kick myself sometimes, right? But fortune is in the follow up. Emily, okay, think big, you guys. Not just in the island. There is still tons of room here in the Hawaiian Islands, you guys. A lot. a lot of room. You think on the island of Oahu alone, there's over 1 million people. We don't even have 1 million people in the company. So yes, the islands still have a lot of people that have not heard of 7K, but you need to think big. Is when the company starts you know, doing different events all over, we pay attention. We're all working together as one big ohana or one big family within the company. Is when events are happening throughout the country, is who do you know in those areas, right? If the company sponsored event is coming up in Austin, Texas, who do we know? I already looked up through my contact list who's close by. I'm gonna go ahead and reach out now, see if I can get them in, so they go and they bring more people, right? Is being able to know that. So your 100 name list, this is where you keep adding, is who do you know, right? The other islands, the other states, in other countries. We're open, right? Cold market, warm market, circle of influence. Who is your beautician? Who is her friend? Who works next to her? You can never ever run out of people. When people say, "Well, I don't have any more names, I don't have any more people," no, you can never ever run out of people. I personally have a list of warm market that I haven't even tapped yet. And some people prefer the cold market. I prefer the warm market. People I know, right? Or the key here is, it may not be for someone, you guys, but this is the big question when you're adding to your list. Is you ask that person is, well, great, thank you so much. Who do you know that would be interested, or would be, this information would be valuable for? Who do you know that has children that want to create generational wealth? Who do you know that that is retiring, that and we can see where they're at, right? You guys, we don't discriminate. So always add to your list. Okay, your business will move only if you move. And this is so true. It's like the law of attraction, right? Is the universe knows when you're not doing anything and you're sitting on the couch and your business isn't moving. The business will move when you move. Creating momentum starts with discipline, number one. Well, number one, with desire, right? And then discipline to consistently, number one, add to your list. Number two is contact them, right? Build relationships. Is you're gonna build momentum, right, as you continue to grow. And I started seeing that happening here. It's starting to happen here on the island. Is we started in-person meeting. We're gonna be consistent every single week. We're gonna meet, and we're gonna continue to have access to a place, hopefully, that it'll be good. I think this week will be a big meeting, but know that your business will move if you move. It's funny how the universe knows, you guys. If you're not contacting people, guess what? Your entire team's not contacting people, right? If you're not enrolling anybody and having people grab a membership, guess what? Your entire team's not going to going to be enrolling or grabbing a membership, right? But keep the business fun. It is not about stress and anxiety and trying to build your list and being able to contact people. You guys got to keep it fun, because who cares what people think, right? We know the information is valuable. We know that they need to hear the information. Some will, some won't. So what next?
Yeah, I did want to add that is so true, you
Yeah, go
guys.
ahead.
If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And Roger Ball talks about that too. He at Salmon River said that he's like, if you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. So I wanted to add that because it's so, so true. And you'll never, like, I'm like Layla, I love the warm market. I have a ton of warm market. Ask for referrals. That's still a warm market. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you can, oh man, I have barely even scratched the surface on my list as well. But guys, momentum, strength or force gained by motion or a series of events. You have to build event to
Yeah.
event to event. And so I wanted to make sure you covered that also. Because guys, Layla, they've been doing in-person presentations. So why don't you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So is being able to connect with people one on one, in person, even on the Zoom. That's an event, but you build from one event to the next, right? Is not everybody will show up, you guys. That's just a law of numbers. Is you invite 10, maybe one will show. Don't beat yourself up, you guys. Is you just keep building from event to event, right? Someone comes, they who do you know? Who can you bring, right? Is you want to keep building. You don't want to wait, do one, right? And then you wait for the following week to invite someone brand new. No, you keep inviting over and over and over. And that's how you're going to keep building momentum. I just know that I made a decision that we're having that event on Oahu on the 20th. It's coming up real soon. Is I was gonna go pre-build on Oahu because I'm flying over every single weekend just to kind of sift and sort and see who I can find, right? I'm able to grow that way. But just from doing that, partying back to here on Maui, you guys meeting every single week, I know we're on the verge of explosion. But here's the other key. Momentum's great to gain, you guys. It is easy to lose if you stop, right? I've been there, done that. Is creating momentum's fun. Keep consistent, keep consistent. Once you're there, do not stop because it's very easy to go away. Anything else?
100% true. Yeah, like momentum, you guys, it's so hard to build that momentum. And so don't take it for granted when you're in that momentum because you can lose it just as fast as you can get it, right? I mean, not, I mean, you can lose it just as fast as it started, right? Like once you get the ball rolling and don't feel like you've arrived. You're not arriving until you literally can walk away from your business and it is
Mhm.
going to work with or without you. Until then, work, work, work. Now, guys, before I move on, some of the other things too that I want Layla to share about is besides the in-person event, she talked about Texas, right? So I'm going to be in Texas because I actually had planned to be there ahead of time, even before I heard about the corporate announcement. I actually had promised, that I would volunteer for the Standish Foundation to be there to volunteer with the actual event itself. So I'm going to be there. So if you guys want to build in Texas, you can send them to me. I will be there. So the beauty of that is you don't sometimes have to even be present there. You can go
Right.
build it, send them to a leader. Guys, you can, and then we've got team members in Texas already. So I already reached out to them and I said, look, I'm going to be in Texas. You better be there because if I'm going to fly all the way out there, you can show up. You're already in Texas. Like there's no reason why you can't come, right? And another event that's coming up is the Leadership Summit. And then I want you to talk about the Leadership Summit and I want you to talk about the New Orleans event. Why is it so important for us to go to these things? Why is it so important for us to want to go and win these events like the Salmon River trip? Like, why is that so important, Leila?
Because you guys, number one, it builds belief, builds confidence that you're with a company. My experience, you guys, I qualified for the trip for the Salmon River Lodge last year. My husband came along. I'm the one who's actively building in the business. He supports me 100%. He's gonna get on board soon to be able to start sharing himself. But that event solidified my decision of joining this company, not for me only. It was for my husband too. Being able to see him and let him hear from these founders, that was huge, you guys. And that was the one event that really said, you know what, you need to do something. This company, I feel it that this is the right one that you've joined after so many years, right? So number one is building belief in the company, building confidence in yourself that you're with the right company, right? And being able to continue to feel the passion. Events drive your business, okay? And when it's an event that anybody can come within your team, you always am short of you're always wishing more people came along with you. Is you got to build from event to event, and I mean event to event, meaning the one-on-one, the Zoom, the in-person every week, right? The bigger meetings, right, into the corporate meetings, is build event to event to event. It's super important because that's what's going to drive your business.
Sorry, I'm muting. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much, Leila, for covering that. And so this portion kind of ends the day 2 of the training, but real quick, I'm just going to cover what we're going to do this week. So today is the how to onboard a new member, the 100 name list. That is important, you guys. That is the lifeblood of your business. That's why I wrote that even as a separate bullet. The next day, which is tomorrow, we're actually doing roadmap to associate and then roadmap to copper on day 2. And then we're going to talk about the Sell Money Wallet, your back office navigation, so you can get through the trainings there. We're going to talk about Stack and Sell and Autosaver on another day. We're going to talk about how to invite and follow the system, you guys. The following the system is so key. If you can follow the system and simplify it, it'd be great. How to peak, show the plan, 3-way calls. Those are super powerful. That is so funny because on the Saturday, Layla talked about this, but I wrote it on there. Some will, SW, SW, SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. And it's not about being sassy or having an attitude. It's not that. It's just about, okay, some will. You're right. Some might not, right? Some won't. But then you know what? So what? Move on to the next person. Put them on your list to follow up in the next 30, 60, 90 days, or maybe even a year from today. But just keep them on your list, keep them in mind, because something in their life is going to change. Something's going to happen and be like, you know what, all of a sudden they might be open to what you have. It just might not be right now, right? And then keep track of your follow-up list. So we're gonna have like a list how you can follow up on all. Don't lose your list, because they're gonna talk to somebody else is gonna talk to your contacts if you don't follow up with them. They will, and it's happened, and I've seen it over and over again. And then the last training we're gonna do on Sunday is mindset, motivation, discipline, and IPAs, income producing activities. What is that, you guys? What is an income producing activity? Because some people think just showing up to a Zoom call is IPA. It's not. This is part of your training, but it's not IPA, right? And so I'm gonna stop the record. Oh, actually, you know what? Real quick, let me see here. Is Mr. Madiba on or not? I know I saw him earlier.
I'm hanging. I've been listening the whole time. You
Oh,
guys
you are?
ripped it
Okay,
up.
okay. Sorry, I'm on this. So Madiba, you know, so before I stop the recording, we've got our awesome leader, Madiba Thompson here, when I first got started, I put him on three-way calls. I put him on a bunch of three-way calls, and I mean, I called him like every day, right? I mean, I did my own launch Zoom on my first day. Like I was like, "Hey, can you set up a Zoom for me today?" Like I just signed up that morning, went to the food drive. During the food drive, I was like, "Man, people need to hear this." I wasn't gonna share it. I didn't really care about the comp plan. I mean, they showed it to me. I was like, "Man, whatever." And then I was like, you know what? I need to have people listen to this information. And so that day I said, "Can you set up a Zoom call for me?" And he was like, "Yes." So that afternoon, I can't remember what time it was, my time, but I was able to get like at least I think a dozen people on there on my first night, and I literally just like made calls right after the food drive on my way. I think I had like 1 hour left. Madiba said, "Hey, did you invite anybody?" I'm like, "I'm working on that right now. I just got off the food drive. I have not had a chance to talk to anybody, but I said I can do that on my way to set up the Zoom." And I called Daryl, who's my silver on my right, who's a silver bar earner. I called Daryl. I said, "Daryl, I'm coming to your condo. I'm gonna do a Zoom call, and you're gonna listen in because I'm gonna sit in your condo, and you're gonna listen to this with me." And while I was doing that, I was inviting people as I was going. I was making phone calls. I was texting people. I was like, "Jump on this call, jump on this call, jump on this call." And then, believe
Yeah.
it or not, Madiba somehow got Blake to do my Zoom call. I had no idea who Blake was. I was like, "Who's this dude like doing this presentation?" I had no idea who Blake was. Now that I know, I'm like, damn, I wish I was like a little bit nicer to Blake on there, because I was like, "Who is this?" But
It's
anyways,
funny.
before we end the Zoom, real quick, and I mean not end the Zoom, but stop the recording, real quick, Madiba, what are some nuggets that you want to share that we just talked about as far as onboarding and 100 name list, and just like a few bullet points of the things that we just covered today?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, I think the biggest one is the thing you just mentioned, the 100 name list. It's like if you're going to start any business, if you're going even for like loans and stuff like that, the banks or whatnot, or the companies ask you for, who are your resources, what are your resources. So that name list, guys, is just it's so extremely powerful, because somebody in there knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And the beautiful thing about the way this builds out is it's a left and a right team. All that volume, you benefit from all that volume. Yeah, you have to rank advance and things of that nature. But I don't think anybody have a problem with $500 a week, let alone $12,500 a week right now, right? Okay, so I think that's huge there. And I think it's really important in regards to a lot of the other things that you're going to do in regards to like training. But if you notice, like with like Em was up till like I think 2 in the morning, or maybe even 4 in the morning. It was crazy. I was up like at 4 or something like that, and she was up at like 2, because we're just like we're constantly doing things to move our business forward in it. But those are not income producing activities. In a sense, they are for the team. But me producing a bunch of slides and stuff doesn't pay me. We don't pay M to produce slides, right? So I think that's really important to understand that those things are things. Do them off, do them early in the morning or late at night. Don't do them when people are awake and you can be reaching out to people, right? So I think those are the big ones. And You know, go through those steps are there for you. Like, it's a blueprint, guys. It's like if you follow those steps help you win. And those steps are the same steps that other people will be able to do. And that's how that duplication happens. Because if you're just like flying all over the radar, you're not going to get to your destination, right? And you're not going to lead anybody to theirs, right? So love it, love it how you put it together. I appreciate it so much. You know, I put it over there on the website, and so that's really the big things that I would point out in regards to what you all did. Laylee did an amazing job just off the cuff. You know, it's like she didn't know the slides, but she knows the slides, right? She knows the information. It's not just fudge, or you know, just us messing around like, oh yeah, let's talk about something that we don't actually do. So appreciate both of you. Slam dunk, and it's going to be real cool to have these little systems in place for people. So thank you.
Awesome. So I'm gonna stop the recording, but I don't want you guys to hop off. I want you guys to stay for Q&A. I want you guys to be able to really learn from this. The only reason I want to stop recording is so that we can have short videos for the training for replays. So I'm gonna stop recording now.